here's my little video on just the beginning of how to, well, you already printed I'll make a different video about that, but printing, putting together the PDF pattern, and then tracing it. So what I use for, after it's all printed, I have like this little paper cutter. You could use scissors, it doesn't matter. But what I do is, I only cut the right side and the top of each. And then when I first did my first PDF pattern, I cut all the sides. And I mean, that works fine, but it took forever. So just in order to save time, and of course you need a little dog who wants to help. So what I do is I just cut off the top and the side, and then you can see I put it together just by the diagonals. Sometimes there's other symbols, but you match 4B to 4B, 5A to 5A, simple, okay? And then what I did was, I'll show you a beginning example. So here is that, like the interfacing, I think that Natalie was talking about. This is Swedish tracing paper. You can see it's like flexible. It's kind of like interfacing. So essentially when you trace your pattern onto this, you can literally like fold this up if this is a pattern you're gonna use, like your final. If you're gonna use this again, fold it up, stick it in a bag, and then iron it out and recut it. So this is a really nice thing to use. But you could use tracing paper too, no problem. So what I did was, okay, move. You gotta move, buddy. He loves to lay wherever I'm working. Okay. So what I did was, I just ironed it out because it came in I had the roll all crumpled up. And then I kind of made sure that I had enough, like if I were to fold it over on the fold, right? I made sure I would have enough. And then what you do is, I can show you over here. And then I lined it up, so then I put it underneath the paper, lined it up on the fold here, so it's pretty well lined up. And then, let's make sure like I have let's make sure I've got it lined up right, and I can kind of feel and see like how the fold is lining up under this line that says the fold. These are my paperweights to put on there. A lot of people just go to the hardware store and buy like the biggest, heaviest nuts you can find. I think those are less than $1 a piece, so that's one easy way to get some paperweights. Canned goods, sometimes, as you can see, I have like little bowls. They're not very heavy, but they help. So I cut out 3 sizes, the 8, the 10, and the 12. My measurements say I'm a 10, but I didn't want to have to reprint the pattern if once I cut like my muslin and I needed to go down a size or something. I didn't want to have to reprint it and retape it because I absolutely hate taping the pattern. So then you just take your tracing wheel and just trace over whatever line your size is. And then you just do that all the way for your size. If you had to grade in, so let's say you were a 10 at the top and an 8 or something down here at the hips based on your measurements, then you could take the tracing wheel and you could just grade into that size, just gently. We call that grading in. I haven't done a whole lot of that, but I feel confident enough now after making a few patterns to be able to do that. So I'm just gonna keep going, tracing with my tracing wheel. Okay, so you get the idea of that. And then let me just show you the end here. So here's the pattern, let's say I'm done with my tracing wheel and I've got all my little indentations. So then I take my Sharpie marker and I draw the pattern on there. And then this is where we transfer, like this is the back. I need to cut one from the fold. The pattern is the strata top. This I cut a size 10. All the seam allowances are 5/8 of an inch. I draw like the fold edge, so like if I open it up, because I don't like to just have that half, like if I don't have enough fabric to cut on a fold, and let's say I can maneuver it in order to, you know, have it all the way, then I want to make sure I have the fold line, right, if I want to open it up. So I like to do it on the fold and then have the opportunity, like create a pattern piece that if I needed to lay it down and cut, that I could do that. And then Any notches, if there were notches, I didn't see any. And then the length and shorten here. And then this line is really important. This is the grain line. This is the up and down. So you want to make sure that your fabric, when you're cutting it on the fold, is lining up on the grain line. You can investigate, like just look up a YouTube video, like what is the grain line on a fabric, it'll explain it, if you don't know already. So that's pretty much, I think, everything you need to know about cutting and tracing your pattern. And Oki would like to say, you go girls, you guys got this, you can do it.